Well, hello and welcome back. We are continuing our journey, as it were, through converting our application from Tomcat, Apache, old stuff, Java server pages, things to, a spiffy new Spring Boot application with Bootstrap 5 and Thymeleaf and all that kind of stuff. This time, we are going to continue playing around with, if we go here and log in, we're working on our little project thing and doing some of this stuff, getting these things cleaned up. One of them is we're going to do some new tasks and overhead, which is, again, we're going to go back through, give ourselves a good exercise in completing or cleaning up something that used some of the old school JSP stuff, and we're going to switch that over. So let's see if we can take our tasks and our overhead requirements, and let's see if we can get those things converted fairly quickly. First off, if you remember, we always had to start out and get our header in there. So we're going to do that with our, if I can find my task pages. They are down here. I think I'm in the right place. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So if we do it at the head of our, it's our task. Yeah, I think it's our task form. Yep, because we see it's got all this crap up here. So we're going to clean that up. We get down to the, let's do this, and we don't need to include that header. And we're going to do that with our overhead form as well. So we got a lot of stuff here we don't need. And let's go ahead and we're going to do the same with our footer. So we just jump to the bottom. And we can see here that we always have a footer right before we do the end of the body in the /HTML. So we're going to go back over here to our overhead form. We're going to clean that one up, and we're going to clean up our task form. Same way. And so if we just take these, that should get us a start. So let's just take a look at these. Should start seeing something that looks a little bit better. So we're going to jump in here. We're going to log in. And now we're going to see. So if we do a new task, now we've got our header, we've got our footer down here. Things just look at this, it's starting to look a little bit better even already because it's got some of that styling. If we do our overhead item, same thing. Now we've got some nice little things here, like it's got a welcome, which I think we have here. So we're just going to steal that from our form as well. So we're going to come in here. This is the bonus again. Technically, we probably could have built all this out in some nice, useful templates and fragments, but let's see. So we did welcome here. So up at the top, we've got a row that is our welcome row. We're going to put that on our overhead. And where it says here, we'll just get that taken care of. And we're going to do that on our task form because I think we have the same thing. Yes, we do. So remember what we need to do is we're going to have to go through these. Basically, we're going to try it this way. We're going to try it a little differently. So for our task, we're going to go everywhere that we see a C colon, and we're going to turn that into a TH colon. And we're going to see if that, how close that gets us. So if we do find replace, C colon, and replace that with this TH colon, replace all. It's probably not going to get them all, but hey, let's see what happens if we try that. That should give us, that's going to give us a few issues here because like here, this probably needs to be like a, that's the font. We're going to do a div th text equals, and that's going to be the message. So we'll just try that. So let's start with just, I don't want to go too far into it. So let's look at what we do with just our C. So if we come in here now, let's see if we get any of our values showing up. So if we do a new, of course, if there's not a whole lot, oh, good, it's blowing up. I don't mean that in a serious way, but most likely it is something here where it's, we've got an in to our C. So we can't do that because those were, oh, here we go. So first name. So this is the task, and actually I'm not sure which this was, but most likely it is here. So user.firstname. Oh, so let's go see if, so it looks like we're going to have a couple things. So we sort of like blew our way through this. Let's see, user.firstname, template overhead form, user.firstname here. And it's not equal to null, and it's probably not going to like that, because if we go down here, I think it's a user's null maybe. Oh, property field first name cannot be found in it. So user is null here. Oh, because I think we did that. I think that's our problem. It's because they are, nope, that should be. Oh, I bet you we didn't. Let's see, what do we call them here? Oops, let's go. If we go back to what that was, it was actually, oh, we didn't send it, it was user principal. So let's go look at, whoop, not that one. So we need to send our user across now, which we probably did not do. So if we go into our task controller, and we're going to have somewhere in here, we're going to have our overhead form. Oh, I probably didn't do it because it's, let's not make it, there we go. So here what we need is, we have a user ID, but we probably need to just make this user, which, let's do it that way. And this is going to be, let's see, how do we do that here? We can probably just steal our code here. Let's see, where is, here we go. So now we can come back to here, let's see, task controller. And we're going to do it like that, and then the user is going to be USR. We're going to have to add the user DAO. Oh, we didn't have it there, so let's go back to here. Let's just grab that line real quick, because we're going to need him. And we're going to use him in a couple places, so that works. Let's make sure we don't already have a user DAO. We do not. Oh, I guess we can make it private. Interesting that it was before, but that's okay. Let's see, so now that was the, where did I put it? Here we go. So I've got that one, and I'm probably going to use user as well here for the, is that the task? Yep, load task form. And so now that should take care of those. So that means we should be able to, I think, run it. We're going to find out in a second. Or a few seconds, actually. So if we're going to log in, send our values in, do a new, now it's working. And we're starting to see a few things. We're not seeing any errors. So, and probably right now note that we've got some issues. If I'm trying, well, you can't note this, you don't see this, but maybe you hear me trying to type, and that's because these are not hooked up properly, because those are, so if we go to, let's just do the task form first. Is that what I want? Yeah, we're going to do the task form first. And so we've got a few things here. So this if, be interesting if we can, oh, we really don't want that. That's going to be a div, thif, and that's going to be the end of that div. And we're just going to say that's going to be the action. And then what we need to do, if you remember what we need in our form, is we're going to need to actually tell it what it comes from. So if we, what it's working with. So here, we're going to make our form, it's going to look a little different. Whoop. Where did I put that? There we go. I don't know why I jumped to the end, but there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this in our task. We're just going to do it this way, because what we really want it to be here is it's going to boost save task. And instead of project, it's going to be task. And that should do it. So from here, I think we can just do, let's see if we do th value. Let's see what that does. Hidden path is going to be project ID. That's probably okay. Input type, and I think our inputs, oh, that's a submit button right there. So the submit button's okay, probably. Oh, that's just a whole bunch of, wait, let me go look at that page. Oh, because it's the delete the task, but that's going to be delete task, and that's going to be a th on click, and it's going to be, we need our pipes like that. That should take care of it. It's not going to be task.id because we should be able to do just ID. I believe is what's good because we're within this task. Let's go see if we had that before. Whoop. And if we look here, yeah, it's just th field instead of path. So that's what we want. So we're going to come over here, and instead of path, that's going to be th field. And that's going to be a star like that. I think that's how we want it. So if we go look here at our project form, yep, asterisk and ID. So we should be able to do that. So let's see, we need, everywhere we have path, it's going to be like that, star. Let's see. That's our on click. We're okay there. I think that needs, ooh, is that an asterisk? I think that is a dollar because we don't want it. Dollar. Yep, that's what we want because that actually takes it outside of the form. This is just within it. Let's see, do we have another? I'm sure we have another path. There we go. There's a path. And then it needs to be like that. And somewhere in here, there we go, there's a path. And that's going to be the amount. So we're going to see some values show up, I think, this time. Oh, and it's not form input. It is, I think it's just input. Let's go look here. Let's make sure we got that right. Yep, straight up form input. So we can get rid of that. That's not a form input. That's not a hidden. That's an input type equals hidden. Funny that the one right above it did not do things quite the thing I thought it was. Let's see, let's make that th value. Oh no, we can do th field because it's going to come from there. Okay. What else we got? If we come through all of this, we don't need that form input. Let's see, we don't need form select. That's just going to be a select. We will come back to that because we're going to have to, if you remember, whoop, that's going to be div. Whoop, gosh, too many typos. Let's see, do we have a, we'll come back to that select because we're going to want to rebuild him like we have before. We're going to do that with him as well with this select. Let's see. I don't know that it matters, but we'll put that there. So we're going to have to rebuild that. This is an input, so that one's at least good. That's just an input, and that's going to be... So as you see, a lot of this is just, you know, it's kind of stuff we probably, there would be a way to automate it. We haven't yet, so we get to do it this way. And honestly, let's face it, automating it would only work if somebody was doing this exact same type of conversion. So sometimes we run into that where it's like, hey, we would love to not be doing this very repetitive stuff, but we have to because it's code and it has to be written. And so we have to go through this. And while there's probably some ways we can do it faster, yeah, it is something that we don't do that often. So yeah, it might be one that would be potentially one of those things that you would do some sort of like a one-off macro or something along those lines, depending on what your IDE environment does. This one doesn't, that I know of, provide that, so we're not going to mess with it. All right, so I think we finally got through it. Let's see what it looks like. So we should see some stuff that's a little nicer here. And if we go, and this is on the task. If we go in and we do a new task, oh, now we're seeing an issue. We got a typo or something in there. Let's see, what did we get? Let's see, input cannot be null. And did it tell us which one it was on? It is template type form. I wonder if we had on our form itself, method is post, th object, action, form hidden. Oh, that's going to be an input. Let's see, probably didn't give us information we needed. Not seeing the exact error. Sometimes it gives us the exact one. It's not this time. So let's go run this again and see if that gives us something a little different. And let's run through here. And let's do a new task. Oh, same thing. What does it complain about? Probably the same thing. No, a little different. Input cannot be null. Legal argument. Something has an input. Oh, there's an if. Oh, there it is. Line 38. Boom. So here, THO or THF is actually equals, and I think it's like that. I think we just want to do it there. So let's try that, because that's if message is not equal null. Does that look right for our ifs that we did before? I believe it did. Oh. If we look here, somewhere up here, there's an if. I just saw one. Yeah, here we go. So here's the same thing. So with that message, let's see if we got it right this time. So if we take a look at that if on the message, we're going to do it on the overhead too, so we might as well. I bet you. There we go. So THF equal, yep, looks like that's exactly what we want. If we go do that on our task form, I think we actually had it all. Oh, it's just there because it's going to do the dollar message. I wonder if it'll, so yeah, we probably want to leave it like this. Although, interestingly enough, what do we do on the overhead form? Oh, I bet you it's not going to show that message. Interesting. Okay. We'll find out. We'll have to change that at some point, because I'm sure we can send a message as we're going through it. So let's get that actually working, and then we'll come back and we'll do our drop downs again. We'll do another example of those, and we'll see that those are pretty consistent, I think, from what we saw before. Pretty straightforward. Build our list in the back end and then send it across. There we go. So now we're starting to see some values. Type, difficulty, or drop downs. Name, we can enter something. Create a task, that's actually the ID, so that should be hidden. If we go into that, task form, ID, there we go. So that should be type equals hidden. And we should have a user ID and a project ID. So if we go look there, let's see, if we look up here, nope, that one. There we go. We have a user ID, which is 3. We have a project ID, which is 28. So we are getting those values in. We can do a nice little description notes there. That one probably, we could make that multiple lines if we wanted to, because that gets a text. Yeah, form control. Oh, interesting there is it's saying should be 6 rows, but it's not giving us that. So interestingly enough, we'll have to see. I think we missed something there. But we are, generally speaking, getting our values across. And I bet you if we hit save, it'll actually, if we hit cancel, oh, cancel does go back. That's cool. Save or update. Oh, actually thinks it's doing something. I think we got an error, but it sort of thinks it's doing something. And delete this task. Again, doesn't do it. Oh, that's interesting. Is that we didn't have an opportunity. Let's go look. Oh, so now it's not showing our opportunities. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So if we go here, that one is, but we lost an overhead requirement there. So we managed to do some damage on that one when we did our overhead piece. So we'll have to look at that, and we'll just sort of keep tracking that one down next time. So as always, if you have any questions, any specific things you want us to go through, because like I said, we're just going through these, giving you some examples, learning as we go a little bit, finding a few things here, sometimes doing things a little differently. But shoot us an email at info@developreneur.com and let us know what you'd like to hear. Until then, go out there and have yourself a great day, a great week, and we will talk to you next time.